everyone, and welcome to TWF Friday Night Smackdown. I, um, I, uh, Tony Schiavone, with Daniel Bryan and with Wade Barrett, and today on Friday Night Smackdown, we're going to see a good show here today on Friday Night Smackdown. We're going to talk about what happened yesterday on Thursday Night Impact or Hit. We saw Raquel Gonzalez beat Jade Cargill for bragging rights over who was a greater woman wrestler, the TWF Woman Heavyweight Fighter Jade Cargill or the Woman World Heavyweight Fighter Raquel Gonzalez. And Raquel Gonzalez won that match. And you know Jade Cargill doesn't handle those things well. She hasn't done it since she shifted heel in WWE. Well, you're right about that. Raquel Gonzalez or Raquel Rodriguez, whatever you want to call her, same wrestler, same woman, same self. At the end of the day, she got bragging rights now, Daniel Bryan says. But we need to know what's going to happen. We going to have Wrestle Madness or Wrestle Dream, or what's the show going to be? Well, Wade Barrett says that's going to be hard to know. As we do know is that Cody Rhodes still doesn't have, if Cody Rhodes does have someone who having the right to fight him, that's something for the main wicker of the toy wrestling gathering, Autolycus, to come up with. And I don't think Autolycus has done very well. What do you mean he don't think he hasn't done very well? I think he's done great, Tony Schiavone says. Alright, Autolycus goes, I know that my time as the main wicker of the toy wrestling gathering hasn't been all that great. You know, if I'm going to rank myself, I'd say that I am alright. But the big saga is what is going to be the main show in the 4th month. Is it going to be Wrestle Madness, Wrestle Dream, or some other yield show? And we have to think about that. And yes, the big asking thing is, who is going to be fighting Cody Rhodes for the TWF heavyweight winnings on that said yield show? And the only way that we can come up with that, the only way that we can come up with that is by having a match and having many folks in it. And I think by doing so, that is the only way that we can truly think of who is going to have the right to fight Cody Rhodes for the TWF heavyweight winnings. Because this is something you wouldn't think that would be hard to do. But the truth is, it is hard to do. Well, here comes Cody Rhodes now. Alright, Autolycus, I need to know, who am I going to be fighting for the TWF heavyweight winnings? That's who I need to know. Because it's kind of weird. I know I'm fighting Randy Orton and WWE for the WWE heavyweight winnings. But so in the TWF, I don't know who I'm fighting. Well, Cody, let me think about that, Autolycus says. It needs to be someone who is an overstar like you. It needs to be someone who can, match that kind of skill you have. And the only way I can come up with it, Cody Rhodes, is, well, geez, I don't know. The matchmaking team has been coming up with many folks that they think would be good for fighting you for the TWF heavyweight winnings. But however, that's becoming hard to do. Because we want to be fair about this, Cody Rhodes. There are so many other wrestlers. And some of them that never ever gotten any shots. And some folks out there who wonder how this can be. So, after thinking long and hard, That's not a smooth answer for you. Autolycus, you're supposed to have all the answers, Autolycus. You're like the nearest thing we have to Adam Pearce and Nick Ambis and Robert Stone. Timothy Fletcher, if I'm saying his name right or not. And you don't know who I'm going to be fighting for the TWF heavyweight winnings? Well, I'm not going to be here to guilt you or shame you for that, but that is something you need to do. I don't know who that's going to be, Cody Rhodes. To tell you the truth, I don't have anyone. And that is the sad thing behind it is, because you would think that I would have someone. I don't. So, that's going to be sad, because you would think that I would have someone. Oh, fuck. Well, I can see how it's becoming hard. Shit. I can see how it'd be hard for Autolycus to come up, with the right one. To fight Cody Rhodes, for the TWF, heavyweight winnings, which is not some smooth task. So I do feel a little sorry for Autolycus. Tony Schiavone says, yeah, I do feel a little sorry for him too, Daniel Bryan said. How can you feel sorry for a man that doesn't know what he's doing? A man that was put into a stead to run something, to make calls, and he doesn't even know how to make them. Uh-oh, here it is, here's The Rock. The TWF matchmaking team has already named someone, and the leadership team has named me to fight you, Cody Rhodes, for the TWF heavyweight winnings at either Wrestle Madness or Wrestle Dream or whatever Yield show WWE or AEW or NJPW or TNA's doing. Rock, but you can't do that. You lost to Xena. Earlier this month or sometime last month, so you can't do that. Yeah, well, it was Xena that made the call. It was Xena that told Astronema, the force center and head leadership Wicker, to make that call, to put me in that. And here's also the rock bottom. He just did the rock bottom to Autolycus. He's the main Wicker of the Toy Wrestling Gathering, and the Rock just rock bottomed him. Hey! Yeah, you would like to hit me, Cody, but here's the truth. If you hit me before our match, you will give up the TWF heavyweight winnings. So think about that, Cody Rhodes. And here today, you're going to be in a handicap match with some folks that I think will be really good on kicking your rear. Since Autolycus thought it was so funny to put me in matches with folks and watch me get beat up, well, now I'm going to be putting him in matches and watching him get beat up. So, Cody Rhodes, you can leave the ring now, because Autolycus, the King of Thieves, he's going to be the one in a bind. And he's going to be the one that's going to be in a handicap match. And since he likes it so much, You know, since he likes putting me in that bind, I'm going to put him in that bind. Rock, you are a son of a bitch. And I can say that because we are not no Euro friend. We don't got to worry about upsetting any showers or businesses that buy time on our uploads or our live streams or our shorts. So we don't have to worry. But you are a son of a bitch, Rock. That's what you are. You think you're greater than others. Well, I'm here to tell you, Rock, you are not greater than anyone else. And maybe I can't put my hands on you. You know, I can't put my hands on you before our show. But let me warn you, Rock, when the show happens, I will put my hands on you. And you will not like it. Well, we do know one thing, that The Rock has somehow gotten the rights, Tony Schiavone says, to fight Cody Rhodes for the TWF heavyweight winnings. And by doing so, he has also got himself shielded, which is kind of a double standard because he put his hands, on someone he shouldn't have been putting his hands on, like the main wicker of the toy wrestling gathering. Which is kind of sad, Tony Schiavone says. Well, this is kind of sad, but now here we go. We got the match going on now. Wade Barrett says, what do you mean it's sad about it? We're going to see MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and Austin Theory fight here today. And they're going to be a handicap match against Autolycus, the King of Thieves, Wade Barrett says. We're going to get a great match. Well, Autolycus is in a bind right now, and Austin Theory just clotheslined him. This is so unfair, Tony Schiavone says. Yes, it is, Daniel Bryan says. It is completely, fully unfair. Well, when it was happening to The Rock, you two folks weren't saying unfair. When it's happening to Autolycus, Wade Barrett says, then you talk about it being unfair. Well, it's unfair. Want to know why? It was fair when it happened to The Rock because The Rock and Sonya Deville were the ones, who put out Theodore Long. So that was fair because it was fair handicapping for The Rock's wicked deed. And MJF right now, and Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and Austin Theory, two of Paulie Dangerously's well-respected wrestlers, but they have no class since Paulie Dangerously is their overseer. Tony Schiavone says, you got that right, Daniel Bryan says. You really don't have any class if you're hanging out with Paulie Dangerously. I mean, this man has shifted on folks so many times, it's not even funny. And some folks are dumb enough to trust this man. Wait a minute. MJF just hit the ring steeple. Autolycus. The Autolycus Stunner on Maxwell Jacob Friedman, Tony Schiavone says. Well, Maxwell Jacob Friedman brings Austin Theory in the ring, Tony Schiavone said. Well, here goes a man, that had everything going for him, but now he's hanging out with Paulie Dangerously now. And Wade Barrett says, watch this, Autolycus thinks he's going to beat Austin Theory, Autolycus Stunner. Austin Theory is now down. Autolycus is about to win this match here today. Autolycus, Autolycus got tripped by Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Austin Theory, DA downtown. Austin Theory is down. He's going to beat Autolycus, Tony Schiavone says. Yes, he is, Daniel Bryan said, and that's kind of sad. This is great. This is great. Hold it. Well, now Austin Theory just brought in Maxwell Jacob Friedman to get the 1, 2, 3. Tony Schiavone said, this is great. Wade Barrett says, no, it's not. Daniel Bryan said, it's bad. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner. Here is your winner. The team of Austin Theory and Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Well, Maxwell Jacob Friedman and Austin Theory have both beat Autolycus, the King of Thieves, the main wicker of the Toy Wrestling Gathering, here today on Friday Night Smackdown. And I think that's sad. And no one is truly happy about it. Unless the only folks would be happy about it would be folks like, I don't know, Corey Graves, you, Wade Barrett. And that need to be it. Maybe only Corey Graves, Booker T, or you, Wade Barrett, would be happy with that. Well, let me tell you something right now. Wade Barrett says, you're right. I am truly the only one that truly is, happy about that whole thing. And I like watching Autolycus get beat up. Well, I thought it was sad, Daniel Bryan said. That's my take on this whole thing. It's a sad thing that happened. We're going to take it away now to Michael Cole. Well, thank you, Tony Schiavone. I'm going to be talking with The Rock here today on Friday Night Smackdown. Alright, Rock, somehow, someway, you got yourself the match you wanted. Somehow you were chosen to fight Cody Rhodes for the TWF heavyweight winnings. Well, Michael Cole, you don't seem to be too happy with me being chosen to fight Cody Rhodes for the TWF heavyweight winnings. However, you should be happy with that. And I'll tell you why you should be truly happy with that. Because at the end of the day, I will beat Cody Rhodes. I'll lay the smackdown on him. And then you'll be looking at the new TWF heavyweight fighter. But then again, let's not stop and think about all the straps I won. 7-time WWE heavyweight fighter. 2-time WCW heavyweight fighter. Well, yeah. Won the WF Tag Team winnings with Mankind, and also, don't forget, with The Undertaker. I should be in the W Hall of Honor, but I'll be in there one day. But anyway, at the end of the day, this match is going to happen. The match that didn't happen in WWE will happen here in the TWF. So, Rock, somehow, someway, you end up gotten the right to fight Cody Rhodes for the TWF heavyweight winnings. Do you think you're going to have a smooth time beating Cody Rhodes? No. I don't think it's going to have a smooth time beating Cody Rhodes. No one has a smooth time beating Cody Rhodes. And that's not going to be the same for me. But I will do it, though. I will beat him. Well, That's my talk with, that's my talk with The Rock. Back to you, Tony Schiavone. Well, thank you, Michael Cole, for talking with The Rock here today on Friday Night Smackdown. And that's all the time we got here. That's all the time we have here. For all the time we got here today on Friday Night Smackdown. I, Michael Cole, with Daniel Bryan and Wade Barrett. We hope you like Friday Night Smackdown, and we'll see you tomorrow for Collision or Hit.